Okay, so what should you do next? And hopefully by now you've already watched the welcome video and taken a look at the syllabus, taking a look at how you're going to go ahead and purchase the Python textbook for the course, which is the only textbook you'll have to purchase. This is the little course ID that you'll need to get into my programming lab. So the videos describe that, so you'll see that stuff there. So what should you do next after you do that? And I just want to go over just a quick layout of how the course will work. At the beginning, of course, you'll be getting the Python textbook and all that kind of good stuff. But there's another component to the course, and that is the computers understanding technology piece that's built into Canvas for you. And that you'll see all the way at the bottom. So I break everything up, but just really quickly, I break everything up into modules. So you're not going to come over here and click on assignments or any of that kind of stuff. You don't need any of that. If you're trying to get a hold of me, click on inbox and you'll see, you can send a message that way. But just follow the modules. So there's no reason to kind of jump around in any of this other stuff. There's just no reason. So I lay everything on the modules. So as you go through, oh, and by the way, let's say you've done all this kind of stuff. I know students sometimes don't even realize it, but this little ticker right here, you can check that and it shrinks it down. And the next time you log in, it remembers that drop that back. And so, you don't need to see it every time and scroll a ton because we do have a lot in these modules, especially as we get into the Python stuff. So anyway, so you'll see that. So the computers understanding technology will always be at the bottom of our stuff. So if I just kind of scroll down through here, and we'll talk about some of this other stuff in a second, you'll see there is a glossary link that goes to the glossary, and then this is the actual textbook that goes along with all of the assignments. So it's digital, it's integrated in here, and you're good to go. Okay, so right now you have chapter one, which has these activities. Now, each week you'll have a different chapter, and I bounce around just a little bit. So I start with chapter one, and then we bounce around. I actually end up having you do a programming chapter pretty quickly, and then which I think is chapter 11, and then we bounce back, and then we follow the book the rest of the order. So you're going to do all of the chapters in here. You'll do all the activities that go with it. Now, some of the chapters will have, 4 or 5 assignments. Some of them may have 10, and you'll see. And they're you can see on this one just computer history videos, and then you do little quizzes on them. So sometimes you'll watch a video, sometimes you'll read an article, sometimes you may do a little bit of research on something, and they ask you questions that go along with it. They're typically like 3 to 7 points, and it looks like all these are 5, but you'll see they kind of range a little bit depending on what they have you do. So make sure you allow yourself enough time to do those. These are set. I will not talk about these. This is another portion of the course that we sort of offloaded to this and put these integrated activities in so that we're not spending time in the course with watching additional videos and all that kind of stuff. So we focus mainly on Python coding in here, but this portion of the course you'll also be required to do. And you'll see it's kind of fun. I mean, if you're pretty good with computer hardware and software, then it'll be kind of a breeze for you. And if you're not, then it's good. It's good instruction. I think you'll enjoy them. I usually hear back from students that they like the videos. Some of them are a little bit cheesy, but and they're usually like 3 to 5 minutes long, maybe, and like I said, some of them may be a little cheesy, but I still hear from students that the content in it is pretty good. So anyway, so you'll see some of that. And it goes through a little bit of networking, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So as you go through the chapters, don't forget about these. These assignments lock. Once they're locked, you cannot go back to them. So it's all set by the publisher, and it's a pain to get that changed. So do not miss the deadlines for these. So you see these are coming up on January 31st. You've got to get these done. You don't need a book or anything. You don't need your Python book or any of that kind of stuff. Your book is provided here, and you can step through them. Okay, so that's what the cut is computer understanding technology, which is this piece right here. Okay, so that stuff is integrated in there, and so you've got that. Now to start us off, before we get to Python, we're going to do a few other things. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to start with this piece called Scratch. And there's an introductory video for this, so I'm not going to go into a lot, provided by MIT. This is a great little training piece. It's, cloud-based coding, and so it's really, really easy to do. And it's kind of fun, and it's actually amazing what you can do. And if you search around a little bit, you'll see that people have done some great games and really put a lot of work into some of this stuff. So it's pretty fun. For us, this first module just has Scratch and it has all this introductory stuff in it. This is just for you to play around with. So it gives you a chance to mess around with this. You can play with this little catch game, see if you can create it on your own. There's a video here. That's just the link to the site itself. And then this is if you get stuck on your code, you can't get something to work. This is just a quick shot of what the code should look like, and you can, modify your code or start over and start with this, just so you can make sure that you've got something working. Okay, so there's that. And then you're going to provide a link to me when you do your actual assignments. There's no assignments in here. This is just practice for you. Okay, so I'm going to shrink that down a little bit. And then the first assignment, actually the only assignment you're going to do in Maze Runner that you're going to turn in is right here. And there's video instructions. This is where you'll actually turn it in. You're going to turn a link in to me. Make sure, and you'll see in the video up here that I talk about it, but make sure that you're able to share. Okay, and then you're going to share a link with me so that I can go in here and check out your assignment. Okay, so again, make sure you watch this video. All right, so you can see that stuff. Oh, yeah, and then it a little bit in here. You'll see it talks about that as well too. Okay, then here's the book that's provided. Now this is free resource again for you, so you don't have to pay for this. So there's a little PDF of the actual book chapter. I just did a little quick thing on how to import these two files. You really only need one, this one, the skeleton one, but you see, again, there's more information in this video about that. And then there are video tutorials that go along with it. Okay, so that's your only graded assignment that you'll turn in Scratch. After that, you'll see I put one in here because this one's fun, and if we had a little bit more time, I'd let you turn this one in too for points, but I'm not grading it. I just thought I'd put something else in here to mess around with, and it's just a little brick breaker game that's pretty fun. So again, there's that. From here, the following week we're going to go into number conversions. So you see that will come up, and you'll see a module appear right below this where we'll do some number conversions, and then eventually within the next couple of weeks we're going to get into Python. So all of these things you'll be done with them, so you can just hit that little ticker so they kind of go away. And then you'll have the cut stuff at the bottom, and then the Python stuff will appear after the Scratch. Well, after our number conversion worksheets that you're going to do, where we go from binary to hexadecimal to decimal and all that kind of good stuff. So you'll see. It's actually pretty easy once you get the hang of it. So I put some videos in there, and I made some of the videos I stole from Sal Khan, so I have some of his videos in there, and you'll see that's coming up, and it's actually pretty fun. Students usually like that too. So anyway, so that's coming up, and then we will get to Python after that. So you have a couple weeks to get your materials here. Just make sure you don't wait too long. And I know I say it in the videos about the Python book, but the easiest and honestly I think it's the cheapest way of getting it is the $98 or whatever it is for the digital copy that comes with my programming license. That is how you get to it with this little piece right here. So that little instruction there. All right, so hopefully that gives you kind of a rundown of what we're going to be doing and kind of what to expect for these first few weeks. Eventually, what you'll end up seeing is, I mean, just each week you'll come down and you'll do a new chapter for this in this particular book, and then we'll have our Python stuff. And when we get to the Python stuff, it's a lot of fun. I expect that you've done no coding before, so Python is the easiest coding language to learn, and it's very, very powerful. So it's used everywhere. But anyway, it's super fun. So I don't want to make this video too long. We're at 8 minutes, but hopefully that gives you a good overview of what to expect. Thanks, and have fun. Let me know if you have any questions.